make sure to give it a quick thumbs up, and if you are not a current subscriber, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss a video. Thanks. Hey, what's going on, guys? Cardtrix here, and today I'm going to be showing you another awesome card trick and tutorial. This is an impromptu effect. It can be done anytime, anywhere, and I really love this one. I think you guys will too. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, being that this is an impromptu effect, the spectators can go ahead and shuffle the cards as much as they want at free will. So now, once the spectator is done, they'll hand the deck back to me, and then we can start. So, I'll start off by having the spectator go ahead and choose any card in the middle of the deck. It is truly your free choice. So, let's just say the spectator go ahead and chooses this card. I'll turn away. You guys memorize this card. I promise I'm not looking at it. So, memorize that card and do not forget it. So, take your card. I'll give you one last look. I turned away once again. And now we will take your selection and get it lost in the center of the deck. And then just to really ensure that's lost, we'll give it another shuffle, just to really ensure once again that it is completely lost in the center of that pack. Now, we are going to need the help of the 4 aces for this routine. And the 4 aces are, again, one of the 4 of the most powerful cards in any deck of playing cards. So we are just looking for one last ace, being the death card, the ace of spades. And here it is. So at this point, I would hand the aces to the spectator, just so that they can check out that all of the aces are completely normal. So we're only going to need the aces, square them up, and we don't need the rest of the cards. The aces are the only part that is essential to this trick. So I'll give you one last look at these aces, showing that they are all normal cards, and that they are not like any gimmicks in any way. So now we're going to have a bit of a test here. Check this out. Because there's always a possibility that you picked an ace. So we're going to determine if you did or not. The first card was the ace of hearts. We're going to move it to the bottom. Now, if we can get the ace of hearts to jump to the top, that means it is not your selected card. So let's take a look. You can see the ace jumps to the top, meaning it is not your card. So that means we can get rid of it. Now we take the next one, which is the ace of clubs. And now we can throw it on the bottom. And once again, if this somehow jumps to the top, it is not your selected card. And the ace of clubs, once again, it jumps to the top, meaning that it is not your card. So now what we do is we take this card down here, which is the ace of diamonds. And we'll take the card, move it to the bottom. And if we can get this to jump to the top once again, it is not your selected card. So we take it, and once again, the ace will jump to the top, meaning it is not your selected card. So now we have one last ace, and this one is the ace of spades. So now, I'm going to have you hold on to the ace of spades. And being that the ace of spades is considered the death card in the pack, it transmits an energy over to the deck of cards, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Is if you take that ace of spades, just clench it in your hands tightly, it generates this magical energy, and what it does is it'll magically make your card turn face up in the pack. Wait a second. The ace of spades turned face up, but you were supposed to have the ace of spades. So that can only mean one thing, that the card clenched in your hand was your selected card, the jack of diamonds. Anyways, guys, that is the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So now let's get straight into the tutorial. Alright, guys, hopefully you stuck around for the tutorial. So as I mentioned before, this trick is not that hard to pull off. All you need to know are a few basic sleight of hand techniques, and then you can pull off this trick. It's just that easy. Now, I know my past few videos have pretty much been 4 ace style routines. 4 ace tricks is some of my favorite tricks that I like to perform for people, so that's why I've been sharing them with you guys over my past few videos. So I'm going to try to change it up. I'll change up the genre in my next video and from there on out, just to kind of keep the channel fresh with new videos and new style tricks every week. But if you are a lover of 4 ace tricks just like me, and you like this style of routines, I've put together a whole playlist of strictly 4 ace routines. So if you want to see all of the routines that I've done that involve the 4 aces, check out the playlist right up here in the corner. Click the link right there. See it? Click it. Okay. So you click that, watch the videos, and then you can come back and then I can show you how this trick works. Or just watch the tutorial now and go check those out later. I don't care how you do it. So anyways, let's just get into the tutorial. So before, you notice that I took out the 4 aces from the middle of the deck during the trick. So just to save time for the tutorial, I left the 4 aces on the table right here. So once the spectator is done shuffling the cards, you're going to have them pick out any card from the deck. It is truly a free choice. So let's just say they pick out this card right here, and in this case they've chosen the 10 of clubs, and it is truly a free choice. So once they pick out a card, you need to control it to the top of the deck in your favorite method. It does not matter how you do it. Now, what I did in the performance was the false slip cut, which looks a little something like this. I slip it to the middle, but in reality, it's still on top of the deck. So now you do not have to do a false slip cut. You can do any method you want of controlling it to the top. You can do a false slip cut. You can do the one where you push it in to the deck and then you double undercut it to the top, just like this. So I'm not really going over in depth how to control the card to the top, because that's a basic sleight of hand. Most people already know how to do that. So if you need to know how to do that's like controlling a card to the top in any sort of method, because who knows, maybe you are a beginner, I'll leave a link in the description below to how to control the card to the top. But anyways, that's that. Hopefully you already know it, and then you can move on to the next phase of this trick. So once you control the cards to the top, you're going to go through the deck, take out the 4 aces, which I've already done, as I just said before. Now, you're going to put the 4 aces on the table, and while they're looking at the 4 aces, you need to get a pinky break on this top card. So now, if you're a beginner, then you might just have to riffle up and catch a little pinky break just like this. But the most natural way to do it would be to kind of shake your hands as you're talking and do a push-off pinky break just like this. You're pushing off and catching a pinky break just like this. So that looks a little difficult to some of the beginners that are on the channel, but it's really not. All you're doing is pushing the card off, pulling it back, and then getting your pinky under it to catch a pinky break just like this. So once you catch the pinky break, you're just going to square up the 4 aces on top of the deck, and you're going to steal that card away from the pinky break. Flip the deck over and set it down. So now you have the 4 aces, and you stole their selection away. So now you're going to say, okay, I'll give you one last look to show that all the aces are normal. All you're doing is flipping the aces over and putting them on the bottom, just like this, showing all the aces. So it looks like you went through all the aces, but now what you have are 4 face-down aces with their selection on top. So now what you're going to do is a double lift, and this is part of the basic sleight of hand. So you just get a little pinky break and flip over 2 cards as one, showing the first ace, which is the ace of diamonds in this case. Yeah, the aces don't matter what order they're in. I should have mentioned that earlier. The order has nothing to do with the trick as far as the aces go. So we have 2 cards as one. So this is actually not their selection under it. So you flip over the 2 cards again, and what you do is you say, we'll take the ace of diamonds, which is really just their card, and you put it on the bottom. You say if the ace of diamonds jumps to the top of the deck, or the pile rather, it's not their selection, which of course you know, since you did a double lift, it'll be still on the top. So now you're just going to set this on the bottom of the deck and say, okay, it's not your card. Now you're going to do the same thing again. Just try to misdirect them so you can get that pinky break, excuse me there, and do another double lift and show the next ace, which is the ace of hearts in this case. And then of course there's another card under it. Say, okay, we'll take the ace of hearts, move it to the bottom. This is obviously, of course, another card. And you're going to say, all right, if it jumps to the top, it is not your selection. And of course you know what's going to be on the top because you did the double lift. Set it on the bottom of the deck. Now from here, this is your setup. This is your setup right here with their card in the center. So you can't do a double lift here, because obviously you'll show their card, and you can't just flip over the ace of clubs. Otherwise, if you move it to the bottom, then it won't jump back to the top. So here's what you're going to do. You do something a little bit different here. You are doing a double lift, but you're not going to do your casual double lift where you take the 2 cards and flip it over, because you don't want to reveal their card. What you're going to do is you're going to get a pinky break on the top card just like this. And then all you're going to do is take the 2 cards in the bottom, just take them and flip them over on the top. So that's not really any sleight of hand there. You're just flipping over the 2 cards on the top, but of course you need to make it look like 1 card. So just make sure you keep the cards nice and square. So show the ace of spades, of course, there's their card behind it. Now flip it over. Now, remember, there are 3 cards here. So you need to be very careful when you get up to this point, because they think there were only 2 cards, because they only thought that you had the 4 aces. They don't know that there are cards in here. So when you push off this card to make it look like you're putting the ace of spades in the bottom, make sure you don't spread these 2 apart, because otherwise it's not going to make any sense that there were 3 cards when they thought there was 4 and you already eliminated 2. Does that make sense? So now you take the card, put it on the bottom, and say, okay, hopefully it jumps to the top. And then, of course, it does. Once again, be careful not to flash the cards like I just did there. You can tell that there was more than one card here, so just be careful with that. Show the card. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to put it back on top, and you're going to get a little pinky break once again on the top 2 cards. Now, this is the Ace of Clubs. So what you're going to do is you're going to steal the Ace of Clubs away and put it on the bottom of this pack, making sure not to flash that face down back. So I'll just square that up. And now, of course, they think this is the Ace of Clubs, but now this is actually their selection. So what you're going to do is hand it to them and just tell them to put their hand on top of it, or they can hold it in their hands and just sandwich it just like this, however they want to do it. And now, of course, you have that, but the Ace of Clubs right over here, facing the opposite direction. So now just cut the cards to the center, leave it face up, and the trick is pretty much over from here. From this point forward, it's all acting. Just kind of wave your hand over the deck, or just say, when you squeeze the Ace of Clubs, it creates an energy that allows your selection to flip face up in the pack. And of course, we know what happens here. When you spread the cards, they're going to expect their card to be face up. But in reality, it is going to be the Ace of Clubs. And you're going to bring it up, and then they're going to be amazed too, because they thought they were holding the Ace of Clubs. And then you can mention that can only mean one thing, that they are holding their selection, the 10 of Clubs. So anyways, guys, that is Full Speed Aces. I hope you guys enjoyed the trick. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. When it comes to magic, follow your dreams. Cardtrix 8, signing off. Peace out.